I nearly dropped my phone when I saw it. A tweet so bold, so shocking, I couldn't believe it at first, and then I dug deeper. What I uncovered left me staring at the screen with goosebumps. If this rumor is true, XRP might be on the edge of a supply shock so massive it could rewrite the playbook for this coin. If you hold XRP at all, stay with me until the end, and before we go on, hit like and drop a comment with your honest price prediction for XRP. This is not financial advice. Here's what started the alarm. A well-known voice in the XRP community claimed the circulating supply isn't what most people think. Ripple has locked up roughly 35.3 billion XRP in escrow. Add another roughly 3.5 billion that Ripple controls in company wallets. The founders together hold billions more, around 2.3 billion and 1.3 billion respectively. That's over 42 billion XRP effectively out of play. Over 40% of the total supply is already in strong hands and not freely trading. Now think about the rest. Some analysts estimate retail, exchanges, and institutions combined leave only about 15% of the supply actually liquid and available to everyday holders. 15% of 100 billion is just 15 billion XRP. That's the slice the public is actually fighting over. Picture walking into a pizza party expecting 8 slices, only to find 4 already gone. The rest of the room is scrambling for what remains. That's the reality check. Small institutional positions today, a few dozen million here or there, look tiny next to billions. But they're the early signals. Imagine what happens when the big players arrive: large asset managers, major banks, funds that trade in the millions and tens of millions at a time. Spot ETFs are the golden ticket for mainstream institutional money because they let trillions flow through normal brokerages without wallets or exchange accounts. Some in the community are watching October as a potential window for first spot XRP ETF movements. If that happens, a tidal wave of demand could slam into a pool of supply that's already shrinking. Exchanges tell the same story if you look at reserves. In June, one major exchange showed nearly a billion XRP across dozens of cold wallets. By mid-September, those wallets had been reduced to just a handful holding a few dozen million, and now reports say many of those cold holdings are effectively drained. Exchanges are the grocery shelves of crypto. When shelves go bare, panic follows. When exchange reserves fall, retail liquidity evaporates. It gets worse or more structural from there. New DeFi and wrapped XRP projects are explicitly designed to lock up XRP as collateral. Some launches sold out in hours, and long-term roadmaps aim to lock billions more. Every wrapped token minted requires depositing real XRP, removing it from the open market. Combine escrowed Ripple holdings, founders' bags, institutional accumulation, drained exchange reserves, and DeFi lockups, and the amount of XRP truly available to buy is shrinking fast. This isn't just hype. It's mechanics. When supply is limited and institutional demand escalates, price dynamics change from linear to exponential. Each additional buyer has to pay more to secure coins. Add to that the fact that XRP never sleeps, liquidity corridors and settlement flows can move 24/7, and you have a market that can tighten faster than most retail models expect. Exchanges may not be the place where the big flows are routed. Institutional desks, private liquidity corridors, and custodial arrangements will absorb massive orders away from public order books. That means retail could be left with scraps. Psychology compounds the effect. XRP holders have already proven patient through years of legal uncertainty and exchange delistings and relistings. When scarcity hits, the natural reaction for many holders is to hold tighter, not sell. Reduced supply plus committed holders equals a potent recipe for rapid price appreciation. And when institutions move at scale, buying for ETF inventories or for treasury and settlement needs, the first wave can be violent. Order books thin, withdrawals spike, trading pairs freeze, and headlines scream shortage. By the time the wider public reacts, the opportunity window is very likely to be closed. Let's be realistic. This is not guaranteed, and the path will be volatile. Supply shocks create wild swings, massive spikes, quick retracements, and periods where price discovery happens largely off exchange. But the difference here is structural adoption. Banks, Payment providers, settlement hubs, and CBDC pilots that need neutral liquidity bridges are testing and building. If XRP becomes that bridge at scale, the market is no longer just retail speculation, it's sovereign and institutional money movement. That changes the scale of valuation entirely. So, what does this mean in plain terms? Exchanges have less. Retail controls a small float. DeFi and wrapped products are locking coins. Institutions are lining up. If these forces converge, scarcity driven repricing is not only possible, it becomes the most likely outcome. Timing matters. Each week leading up to major ETF decisions or adoption announcements could quietly remove more liquidity from the public pool. The longer this prelude continues, the sharper the eventual squeeze can be. If you're still with me, here's the key takeaway. This isn't about chasing headlines or panic buying. It's about understanding that the on-chain and off-chain mechanics of supply are changing. That knowledge gives you an edge. Ask yourself whether you want to be positioned before the liquidity corridors fully activate, or be the person trying to buy when the shelves are empty. What do you think? Is a supply shock already quietly underway, or is this still early speculation? Drop your prediction in the comments now. If this made you think differently, hit like and subscribe to Crypto Journal for more clear breakdowns of XRP, institutional moves, and the structural shifts shaping crypto. Stay sharp, stay informed, stay ahead.